Megan Hicks of I Run Far. I'm with Adam Peterman. It's the day after the 2022 Trail World Championships 80K. You're the champion. Congratulations. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, thanks. It was a really fun day. Super special.
How are you feeling this, what is this, 12, 15 hours after the race now?
Oh, man. Yeah. I was just talking with my USA teammates about that, and we're worked. That was tough. That was a battle the whole time out there.
There was a lot of talk before the race, like anticipation of heat, humidity, vert, roots, rocks, etc.
Yeah.
How did things actually work out on the day? How were the conditions for you?
Yeah, I would say, I think we talked about heat and humidity a lot, and that wasn't as big of a factor. It was really humid, but it really wasn't that hot. A lot of the backstretch was at a little bit of altitude above the valley, and yeah, it really wasn't bad. Had a lot of climbing. For me, at least, it had 48 miles and had about 15K of climbing. Wow. So that was a lot. And then the funny thing was, a lot of it was on these dirt roads, but really, really hilly. And so it was runnable, and you could run fast. But man, they were packing a lot of vert into those roads. But really, really cool course. I mean, the whole backside goes past these little villages, and at one point we ran through a little town, and it was neat. It was really neat to be back there.
Away from the aid stations.
Yeah, one of the second aid station where we couldn't have crew was in a town, but had a little aid station.
Oh, cool.
But you were running through the streets of town and through this little garden, and it was sweet.
That's awesome. You said as we were walking over here to do this interview that you did see one snake yesterday. I feel like we should report on that.
Yeah, I think around 30K I saw some green snake on the trail. I was running with Nico from France, and he was just a couple steps behind me. So I saw the snake and moved out of the way, and I say, "Dude, snake!" And there was a little language barrier, and he just didn't even. I don't know if the snake was alive, because it looked like he just about stepped on it.
Another member of your Team USA said the snake was not there when he got to it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe it was alive. Yeah, Nico dodged a bullet.
Green snake with you said the perfect pyramid head of a poisonous.
Yeah, maybe venomous. I don't know. There were. Yeah, I didn't see any spiders. I saw a couple of these big-looking rodents. I don't know what they are, but football size.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what they are.
Thanks to Google today.
Yeah, but other than that, I didn't see anything else.
That's fun. Okay, the competition itself. I feel like last week, as we were walking around town, ruminating about how things were going to happen, pretty much everybody pointed to you as the odds-on favorite.
Yeah.
This is how things turned out. Did you go into this race with obviously this is a race about placing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go into this race thinking you were the favorite also?
Yeah, I originally, when Tom Evans from the UK was in it, I thought that would be a pretty good match, but unfortunately he wasn't here. So yeah, I actually figured it would be me and Thibaut Garivier from France. So when it was Nico and Andre from Italy, I've just never met those guys, so I didn't expect that. But yeah, I felt confident after the last few ultras I've done that I had a shot at winning, but you never know.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was a little stressed. Just having this win streak that I'm really proud of, the last the last few ultras I've done.
6 now, right?
I don't know. Maybe it might be 5. At some point, that's going to end, and that's okay. But the day before the race, I was definitely kind of stressed about that.
Okay.
And I don't know. I'm not usually like that, but it happened.
I mean, the streak will break. Maybe it won't break. But at some point it breaks,
it'll
right?
Break. Yeah, it'll break, and it's all good. I'm really used to losing. In college, I lost all the time. I did a cross country race last week, and I lost. So, yeah, but it wasn't an ultra. It was 4 miles. So, yeah.
I love it. Tell us how the race went out in the early miles. The course itself, it was just large ascent, fairly. Yeah. Large descent, it was just, the vert seemed packed in to groups, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the first, I think 7 miles you gain about 5,000 feet. So that part was pretty chill. We were all just hiking. Well, I say it's chill. It didn't feel that hard, but no one was talking. It was probably the least chill ultra I've ever been in, because everyone's representing their country and it's serious. So, but yeah, we were just hiking a lot of that. But did that big climb, and then you kind of get in this backstretch area where it's more of those dirt roads, where it's still really hilly, but off the single track and pretty runnable.
More miles of running there.
Yeah, I would say mile like 7 to the 50K mark. So you have about 23 miles that were runnable. I mean, it still had 6 or 7K of climbing, but you're on these like steep dirt roads. And I actually liked that part. I think that suited my background a little better.
Yeah. The people talked before this race that it was super variable. Like you'd go 1 minute to something super steep and hiking to like very fast descending. Did you start seeing among the lead guys that you were with, did you start seeing people's like, you know, what they're best at and worst at start coming out?
Yeah, for sure. Like the Spanish guys are so good at descending. Man, so we hit the high point of the course, and then it was a really steep downhill for, I want to say, a mile or two. And those guys just blew my doors off. Like at one point I had to stop and take off my shoes because my feet were so wet. I had to like fix my shoe. And I think like 8 people passed me, and it was the Spanish team and then the French team. And yeah, it was all on a descent. But I started thinking like, like there's no way they could sustain that for an 80K race.
Yeah.
So I just tried not to let it bother me. But yeah, at first they were moving on those downhills.
It seemed like it was like you and a couple guys were running relatively together up till 50K, something like that. And then there started to be slight gaps that were opening up in the field. Were you pushing at that point, or was it naturally just starting to come, or what was happening there?
It was kind of, it reminded me actually of how I felt at Western States.
Okay.
Like through the first 30K, I didn't feel very good again. And I'll have to figure that out because that's the second time this has happened to me now this year. But yeah, through 30K, I was definitely had a lot of doubt. Wasn't feeling good, wasn't feeling good on descents. But what I started to notice after 30K was I was running with kind of the lead pack, and everyone was breathing a lot harder than me.
Okay.
And so that gave me some confidence to finally get out of that hole and realize that I actually was doing well.
You're actually okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, at some point it was me and the French guy who ended up second. His name's Nico. But yeah, it was me and Nico up until maybe mile 22.
Yeah.
And then I started to pull away. But yeah, I was definitely running scared the whole time. I didn't have any updates, not many out and back sections. And with how fast those guys were descending, I kind of just pushed it all the way in.
The final ascent and final descent are both 1,000-meter doozies.
Yeah.
But your ascent up to the final high point was faster than the couple guys behind you. And same with the descent. You added minutes on both. Running scared?
Oh yeah,
a little bit.
yeah, definitely running scared. Yeah, that
especially on the downhill, or
both. Yeah, okay. on the uphill, it's steep. You know, it gains I think 3,500 feet in like 3 miles or something like that. Maybe a little
proper
more.
VK kind of to finish the race.
Oh yeah, and I was hiking almost the whole thing, which I don't like. I usually try to run these things, and I just couldn't. But oh man, that's one of the hardest I've ever pushed in ultra, was like that climb. And then actually on the descent, there's 2 smaller climbs that take 10 minutes. And I was hammering. Like, yeah, I don't usually go that hard. I've never gone that hard at the end of a 7-hour deal. But I was scared.
You also said as we were walking over here to do this interview that you experienced like that you're feeling like you're able to kind of really push hard for longer in these races, like be at the edge of what's comfortable for longer. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I guess what I'm comparing it to is probably like the Canyons 100K or maybe even JFK. But I think I've just figured out a little bit better, either fueling or like I'm stronger. But it did feel like I could actually run climbs at the end and like get into that higher zone, like just working really hard.
Still get there.
Yeah, whereas before, like it would be either muscular fatigue or something, but you couldn't even do it. So I was happy to have that at the end. And I think it ended up helping our team for sure, because like the score is based on average time.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I would have run as fast if I'd known they were 15 minutes behind. So yeah, it was a cool, special day.
You crossed the line. There go the leaders of the men's up-down race right now. Uganda.
That's awesome.
That's fun. You crossed the line as the trail world champion for the 80K. How, I mean, it's been quite a 2022 for you. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's the perfect end of the year for me to get the individual win and then have our team win was really, really cool. I couldn't ask for more here. And it's just crazy year. Like I didn't think that when I started ultra running that this is what would happen. And honestly, I train really hard. And I don't have imposter syndrome. Like I feel like I deserve this, but I don't know what I'm doing differently to be here, and I don't know. It's been really cool. It's a really good year.
I love it. I do want to ask about that team aspect because, you know, that's sort of like hearkening it back to the high school and in college days. And Men's Team USA had a stellar day yesterday.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little.
Yeah, it was super cool. So we had 4 guys on the team and then 3 score, and they actually score it based on average time. And so I think if you scored it like a regular cross-country meet, but with 3 people instead of 5, France would have beaten us. But yeah, we got them based on average time, and it was awesome. I think none of us expected that to happen, and yeah, I don't know. We just kind of feel like a ragtag group, you know. Like we're all friends, but you know, Jeff's in his elephant pants over there, and you know, got Team France and Team Italy. They're all decked out in their kits, and I'm in my camo shorts. Like it's kind of funny, but
some flip flops happening.
Yeah, we got the ultra mindset, I guess. But yeah, we were pretty stoked at the end. It was cool to be on that podium too.
It was really fun at the awards ceremony last night to see the two of to see Team USA tucked in between what we would call like the favorites, the odds-on team favorites, Spain and France.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't think we all expected it. But those guys, we all just worked really hard. I think when all of us finished, we were pretty shocked at how hard that was. And I think it's just a testament, like we really cared about the team title at the end.
I love it. Ragtag or not, Team USA dominated.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was super fun being with those guys. I hadn't really hung out with any of them before this week, so it's I'm gonna miss them. It's been fun hanging with them.
It's like summer camp in Thailand.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I know. I feel like we looked like a group of high schoolers too with our outfits.
Amazing. On that note, congratulations to you on becoming the 80K Trail World Champion. And more than that, congratulations on an incredible 2022 of racing.
Sweet. Yeah, thanks so much. Hopefully we can keep it going into 2023. But yeah, it's been awesome.
Awesome.